Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Zoe Alice. Welcome. So basically, in this tarot card reading, this is gonna be for an all signs reading, and it's gonna be for Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, and don't forget is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So this is an all signs reading. I'm gonna go from every single whatever it is, and it's gonna be for an all signs. It's gonna be for September 12th. 13th and the 14th. So this is how it is. So I hope that you all like this video. Please get a like, please like a comment if you want. And this is the way it seems to be in that way. This is how it goes, right? So this is how it is. But, I'm going to go from earth signs. I'm going to go from earth signs to earth signs. Then we're going to go from earth signs, air signs, fire signs, and water signs. Alright, so that's how it goes. But the way that this is, I hope you all like it and enjoy it, and it's the way it seems to be. Knowing that it's going to be very interesting indeed, I hope that you have to enjoy what's going on, what's going to be offering of how it goes, and you have to understand that. Right? That's the way it seems to be. The way that this is, you have to know exactly how it is. And you have to be in line. You have to know about your own, how it is. And you have to believe that if everything's okay and all the stuff you need to do, right? So that's how it goes. So, in theory, this is how based on it. And it's based on how it's going to be in that way. And that's how it goes. So, this is going to be for the earth signs, as in the Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. It's for the 9 of Earth. It says, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. That's how it goes in that way. Whether you're trying to be, alone or you're trying to do whatever it is, but you understand what it takes. That's how it goes. And when you do it, that's the way it seems to be in that way. And you're trying to go with the flow. That's how it goes. All right. So let's see what's going on. So I'm gonna go from, I might be doing the one card situation, and this is how it is. So let's see what's going on for you, okay? Alright, so for you earth signs, you have basically Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You have the Ace-1 sub, right? So it does represent basically new beginnings. You might be doing with Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, But the way this is, you're trying to have your own consuming. You're trying to figure out what it takes, what's going to be, and how it goes in that way. So this is how it seems to be. It's like how it's going to be in that way. I'm trying to know exactly how it is. So let me go from the middle. So you have the Emperor's upright. So you have structure. 10 of Swords, there's no conclusions. 7 of Swords, you're feeling resilience. And you have the High Priestess reverse. So there's no invoice. Alright. So that's how it goes. Followed by the 4 of Wands reverse, there's no celebration, and 10 of Cups reverse, there is no completion. Now, the way how this is, for you Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, this is like almost a solitaire, interesting way, but it's basically, this is how it is. Like, this is going to be the reading for you. So, let's see. So I'm going to go from the 6 of Swords reverse, there's no movement. But I'm going to go from the Wheel of Fortune, you're going to have good luck. 3 of Cups, there's celebration. And the 9 of Swords, there's no trauma. 7 of Swords, you're feeling deceit. Exactly. What's between this 4 of Wands and this 10 of Cups here? The Knight of Swords is alright. There's actually drama in this situation. So it's like, why are you having drama in this situation? Let me clarify. This Wheel of Fortune is 6 of Swords here. Devil is upright. So you're feeling obsessions, addictions. You might be falling another Capricorn in that way. That's between this 3 of Cups and this 7 of Swords here. The Tower is upright. There's transformation. Yes, everything's changing. What's this 9 of Swords about? Wheel of Fortune is upright. You're having good luck. Alright, that's how it goes. And let's see what this universe is saying for you. Let's see. Let's see Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Let's see. So I'm going to go from the middle. So you want to start your speed. Alright, so I'm going to go from the middle to left, middle to right. High Priestess reverse, there's no invoice. Ace Cups reverse, there's no satisfaction. Empress is upright, there is nourishment. Three of Pentacles over there's excitement. Three of Wands reverse, there's no communication. 4 of Wands over there's celebration. Exactly. When you have no communication, that's how it goes. You're trying to, how to cancel your communication. I don't know why, but something's not right. But you're trying to figure out that everything seems to be fine. What's between the middle and the right side? Strength reverse, there's no kindness. Page Taurus over there's education. The Hierophant reverse, there's no guidance. Three of Cups reverse, there's no celebration. Wheel of Fortune's upright. Yeah, because you're having good luck, right? So when you have no kindness, when you have no ability from that way, it's like, why are you doing it? That's how it goes. You're trying to emphasize what you're doing in that way because you're trying to understand. That's the way how it goes. What's the middle of this situation? The Ten of Swords are, there's always these conclusions for you. And when you have all these conclusions, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, you have to understand about the basic needs, the basic wants, the basic priorities to understand that, right? You have to understand that when you do it, you have to believe that everything seems to be fine, and you understand that. That's the way how it goes. And you're trying to know about how you're going to be doing it, because you're trying to have your own boat to move. You're trying to know what it takes. You're trying to know what it is, because you're trying to know and conceal the truth to know about it, right? That's how it goes in that way. So, you might be doing this in Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You might do it with Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You might do it in another Aquarius. That's how it goes in that way, because that's the seems to be in that way. Alright? Yeah, so this is how it's going to be, right? On to the next one. Nine of Air is expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. So this is how it goes for you. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and this is how it seems to be in that way. Alright, so this is how it's going to be in that way, and you understand what you're going to be doing in that way. This is how it goes. Alright? So let's see what's going on. Let's see. The Nine of Swords reverse. So there is no trauma here. Alright, that's a good thing. But the way how this is, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you have to understand what it takes. You're trying to have your own odds. You're trying to know what it is. And you have to understand that. That's the way it goes. And when you do it, it's like, okay, everything seems to be happening. Or you know what to do. Yes. But the way how this is, you have to understand what it takes in that way. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's happening in this situation. So we'll go from the middle to left, middle to right. So 10 of Wands reverse, there's no burdens. Here from the upright, there's guidance. 8 of Swords upright, there's anxiety. Yep. 6 of Wands upright, there's celebration. 9 of Cups upright, there's fulfillment. Alright, so the way how this is, this is how it goes, and you think, alright, everything seems to be fine. Alright, I'm not going to panic here. No, but you're trying to have fun. You're trying to understand what it is. So you have to believe it in order to do it. So let's see what's going on for you, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see. So you go from the middle to left, middle to right. 6 Swords upright, there's movement here. 9 Swords reverse, there's no drama. And 9 Swords upright, there is drama here. But in the way how this is, trauma and anxiety do tend to be that. It's like it's like acting like it, right? You're not feeling sad, you're not whimpering. By the way, how this is, right? What's between the Six of Wands and this Nine of Cups here? The Three of Cups here. So there is no celebration. All right. So that's the way how it is in the moment. So let's see. So let me go from the middle to left, middle to right. The Devil reverse, there's no obsessions. Tower reverse, there's no it's the transformation. The Wheel of Fortune reverse, you're having bad luck. Obviously that's how it seems to be. What's this Three of Cups about? The Judgment reverse, so you're not taking any action. Alright, so that's how it goes in that way. It's like why you keep doing it, why you keep saying that, oh, everything's gonna be fine. But it's not, right? So the way how this is, you have to know what it takes in that way, because you have to know what it is. So let me go from the middle to left, middle to right. Five Cups is already, there's grief. King of Cups already, there's support. Seven of Cups already, there's a delusion. Five of Treasures, there's no revenge. And Queen of Pentacles reverse, there's no stability. Tower reverse, there's no transformation. But just number their skill. Obviously that is, because you're trying to understand that. You're trying to know what it takes. You're trying to go with the flow. You're trying to understand that. And the way how this is, you know what it is. But you have to understand that. You're trying to have your own ways about knowing to do. If you have a deja vu moment, you're having a deja vu moment. It's like, why are you walking into the room? Why you're not doing whatever you're told to do? Because you're trying to be responsible, you know? That's how it goes generally, because you have to pay attention to it in that way. What's between the middle and the right side? For Wands reverse, there's no celebration. 3 Wands tower, there's communication. 8 Wands reverse, there's no speed. Wheel of Fortune reverse, they're having bad luck. 3 Cups tower, there's celebration. Obviously that is. So when you have no speed, when you have bad luck, you know, things are not happening all at once. You know, Gemini recurs, you have to pay attention to it. And whenever you do, that's how it goes, because you're trying to respond about how you're feeling in that way. It's like, oh, this seems to be happening. Alright, I know what to do. Yes, but you're trying to understand what it takes in that way. If you're having a grief moment, if you things are not going to be happening, you know, that's how it goes. But when you do it, that's the way it seems to be, because you have to understand that. You're trying to have your own orderly fashion to understand that in that way. What's the middle of this situation? Here is upright, yeah, because you want guidance. And when you have guidance, you have to pay attention. You have to know about what the universe is saying, you know, the way how this is, you're trying to know what it is. That's how it goes. It's like, oh, everything seems to be happening. Alright, I know what to do, yes. But in that particular criteria, you know what it is in that way. You have to go with the flow. You have to understand that. And when you do it, that's the way it seems to be in that way. Because you're trying to understand about how you're going to be acting, where you're going to have guidance, where you have to pay attention, where you're going to have communication. You know, things are going to be all good, but you have to pay attention to it. Gemini requires, you have to pay attention to it. That's how it goes. Okay? Right, so let's see what's going on now. On to the next one. Knight of Fire. Passionate, adventurous, self-assured, restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is the essence. Think things through carefully. You know, that's how it goes. You know, and that's how it seems to be. So let's see what's going on for you, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And this is how it goes. You have to understand that, but you have to go with the flow. You know, that's the way it seems to be. And when you do that, it's like, okay, everything's going to be fine. Or I know what to do. Yes, but this is how it goes in that way. So, you know, this is the way it seems to be. Alright? So let's see. Let's see what's going on. So let's see what's going on. So Lotus reverse. So you already made that you already don't want to make any decisions yet, but then that's good for you, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. But there are things you must learn first in order to do it. You have to understand that in the way how it goes. You're trying to crave what you're doing. You're trying to know what it is. You're trying to express what you're doing in that way. And then you have to have your own divine timing. You know what to do, but you have to understand that, right? That's how it goes. And when you have your own graceful situation, you know how it goes because this is the way it seems to be. This is not a balancing act, but the way how this is the way it goes in that way. Okay? So let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on for Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. So let me go from the middle to the left, middle to the right. So let's see. So here, finish up right. There's guidance. Star reverse. There's no inspiration, and nice reverse. There's no drama. All right. 10 1 reverse. There's no burdens, and the 8 reverse. There's no anxiety. All right. That's good, right? That's how it seems to be. So it's like, all right, everything seems to be fine. All right, know what to do. All right, this is how it goes. Yes, but there are things that you must learn first in order to do that. So let's see. Go from the middle. So 9 1 is alright. There's fear. Judgment is alright. There's action. And the 5 swords is upright. There's conflict. Yes, because you're not going to get what you want, but that's how it goes. 2 1 is alright. There's planning. And the page 1 zeros. There's no invention. 5 1 zeros. There's no chaos. But 3 pentacles alright. There's basically excitement. Maybe everything else. Maybe you're trying to talk about it. But the way how this is like, why are you having fear? Why are you having your own discipline? You know, why things are not happening all at once? Because that's how it goes. It's like, this is like almost like a write-off. And when there's a write-off, everything's all ticked off, right? But the way how this is, you're trying to understand of who you are, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, and you understand that. That's how it goes. What's in the middle of this situation? The devil is upright. So there's obsessions, there's addictions, you know, things are not going as planned. What's between this 5 of swords and this judgment? The judgment is upright because you're going to take action. What's between this 2 of wands and this 3 of pentacles? The tower is upright. There's transformation. Alright, so everything's changing. So let's see what's going on here. Let me clarify. Let me clarify the judgment first. The star reverse, so there's no inspiration. The empress is upright. There's no nourishment. What's also with the star card? The strength card is upright, yeah. So it does represent Leo, because it might be that, where you might be with a Leo, you might be, you know, that's how it goes. A Leo is a fire sign, you know, that's how it goes in that way. And you know what to do, that's the way it seems to be, you know, and that's how it goes. So you understand about when you have strength, or you have bravery, you know what it is in that way, because you're trying to understand that. You're trying to trust your own instincts, no matter how it goes in that way. What's this devil card about? Wheel of Fortune reverse, you're having bad luck. And then the Fool is upright. There's change. What's also with this Wheel of Fortune? The Devil is upright. Yeah, because you might be focusing on another Capricorn as another Earth sign, but you understand what it goes, right? So Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, you have to pay attention to who you're dealing with in that way. It's like, okay, this seems to be happening. All right, I know what to do. Yes, but in that way, it's like, oh, this seems to be happening. All right. I know how to do it in that way. It's like, okay, this seems to be very interesting. This is how it goes. This is I'm going to improve my point. That's the way it seems to be. What's this tarot card about? The Emperor is upright. You're having a structure. The Mission of the Earth, there's no skill. The Sun card is upright. There's positivity. Obviously, there is positivity because you're trying to know what it is. So maybe you're tracking another Leo as a fire sign, but you have to know about your own strengths, your own weaknesses, your own abilities from the right or wrong perspective. That's all you can do. But in that way, you have to understand that, oh, everything seems to be fine. All right, this is how it goes. Yes, but in that way, in that own, you know how it is. You have to understand what it is. You're trying to own your own formula of the way how it goes, and you're trying to have your own self-expression to know what it is in that way, right? So let's see what's going on. So I'm going to go from the middle to the left, middle to the right. Page of sorcerers, there's no education. 10 sorcerers, there's no conclusions. Pentacles Reverse, there's kindness. Three of Pentacles Reverse, there's no excitement. The Empress Reverse, there's no nourishment. Ace of Cups Reverse, there's satisfaction. Exactly. When you have kindness, you're trying to have your own ability. You're trying to know what it is. You're trying to have satisfaction. You know, that's how it goes. It's like, oh, this is going to be happening. Or I know what to do. Yes, but in that way, you have to understand what it is in that way, and you have to go with the flow. You know, that's how it is. And when things to be happening all at once, it's like, alright, I know what to do. Alright, you know how to do it. Yes, it is in that way, because you're trying to understand about what you're feeling in that way, and saying, alright, this is going to be, I'm not trying to make a bold move, but I know that everything's all satisfied. You know, that's how it goes. Between the middle and the right side, please. The High Priestess ever, you're using your own voice. Ace of Swords is a misunderstanding. Ace of Swords, there's anxiety. Justice ever, you're telling the truth. Yes. So there's a sort of misunderstanding here. Because you're trying to know what it is. You're trying to know what it takes. You're trying to have your own possibilities. But the way this is like, okay, this seems to be happening. Alright, I know what to do. Alright. But the way how this is, you have to understand about what you're trying to do, and it's all it is in that way, because you're trying to understand that, right? That's how it seems to be. This is not your P's and Q's, this is not the way how it works, but in that way, you're trying to have your own aspect to understand what it is in that way. What's the middle of this situation? The Six of Wands, there's no achievement, but Five Pentacles are there's insecurity. Yeah, because when you're having insecurity, you think that, oh, everything seems to be fine, or I know what to do, but it's like, no, it's not. Because when you have your own kindness, when you have your own satisfaction, when you have your own insecurity, when you're having your own truth, when you're having anxiety, you know, you're feeling sad, you're whimpering, you know. But the way how this is, you have to know what it is. You're trying to have your own, you know, how you can do it, right? This is not where you're not having your own tattletale on somebody. You're not doing that. But the way how this is, you're trying to know how it is. You're not trying to joke around. You're not trying to, you know, impress or anything like that. You're trying to know what to do in that way, because you're trying to have your own immediate attention. Maybe you're trying to think things through carefully, whatever it is. But you understand that. You're trying to have your own, you know, ways about considering from the right or wrong perspective. That's all you can do. But you're trying to resist of how you're feeling in that way. You know? That's how it goes. So, you know, there's a good saying here, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, is you can do it if you put your mind to it, right? You're thinking, oh, everything seems to be fine. Yes, it is. But how would it be fine, you know? Right, and the last one, let's see, is the Page of Water. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, friendly. A new person enters your life. Relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. You know, that's how it goes in that way. So let's see what's going to be happening in that way, where you know, like it and involve what you're doing. But that's how it goes, right? That's how it seems to be. So let's see what's going on for you. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Let's see what's going on. So I don't normally do a big reading for you, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But the way how this is, I will. So let's see what's going on. So let's see what's going on. So, you know what? For you, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, there are things that you must learn first in order to do that. So the 6-1 celebrate, there's achievement here. Maybe you're going to have your own celebration, maybe the way how it goes. The other celebrate, you're making decisions already. You know that's how it goes. The Knight of Swords, reverse, there's no drama here. 7 Wands, reverse, there's no silence. The Knight of Cups, reverse, there's no romance here. I have no idea why. The 4 Pentacles, reverse, there's no money in this situation. And the Hangman is upright, there's restrictions. Alright, so you're being restricted. But the way how this is, let's see what's going on. Alright, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, this is how it goes. So I'm going to clarify, I love that word. I'm going to clarify between the Lovers and the 7 of Wands. The King of Swords, there's knowledge here. 8 Pentacles, reverse, there's no perfection. Queen of Wands, reverse, there's no charisma. Ace of Wands, reverse, there's no new beginnings. But Temperance is upright, there's healing. Obviously there is, because that's how it goes. It's like, oh, everything seems to be fine. Yes, but in that way, you have to understand where you're going to do in that way. It's like, oh, this is going to be very interesting, or you know what to do. But healing is one way. You know, that's how it goes. And when you're healing, you know what it is in that way, because you know how it goes. You're not trying to be forgetful, but the way all this is, you know how it plays out. You know what it seems to be. And when you do it, it's like, oh, everything's going to be fine. Or you know what to do. That's how it goes. Let's read this 9 of Cups all the way to this 4 Pentacles here. 5 of Cups, there's grief. 5 Pentacles here, there's no money in that situation. Queen of Pentacles here, there's no prosperity. World reverse, there's incompletion. 4 Pentacles here, there's no money in that way. But the Knight of Pentacles here, there's no trust. Right, because you're not trusting anybody what's going on in that way, because everything is not going as planned, you know, so it's like, oh, well, this is going to be very interesting, oh, okay, this is how it goes in that way, because you're trying to figure out what's going to be happening in that way. What's this Hangman about? The King of Pentacles reverse, but with the King of Cups reverse, so there's no support, just reverse, you're not telling the truth. The Hermit is reverse, you already have a soulmate. Ace of Pentacles reverse, there's no prosperity. Wheel of Fortune, you're having bad luck. The Page of Swords card, there's education. Yeah, because you're being educated. You know how it goes. You're trying to understand that. The way how this is, it's like, oh, this seems very interesting. I know what to do. Yes, but you have to understand about you're trying to give yourself time and correction. You know what it is in that way, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be very interesting. I know what to do. Yes, but it's based on that. It's based on your own originality of how you're feeling in that way, and you have to understand that where you're being educated, you know what it is, you're trying to know how it goes, you're not trying to go back to school, you're not trying to do that, but the way how this is, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, you know how it goes in that way, right? But, so what's in the middle of this situation? Ace of Cups, so there's prosperity about romance here, alright, so you're going to be romantic, obviously that is. But let's see about all these possibilities for you. So let's see what's going on for the left side here. Moon is upright. There's misrotations. 9 Wands here. There's no immaturity. 9 Wands upright. There's fear. Yes, you are having fear in that way, and you're trying to think, well, this is not going to end well. No, it's not, because that's how it goes. What's between this Ace of Cups and the right side? So you had a 9 of Swords here, there's no trauma. 9 of Swords is upright, there's drama here. 6 of Swords here, there's no movement. 3 of Cups upright, there is a celebration. That's how it goes. What's in the middle of the situation? King of Cups here, there's no support. Queen of Cups here, there's no empathy. 4 Wands upright, there's celebration. In that way, yes. But give it time, right? That's how it goes. So, in that way, you have to understand that, right? And that's how it goes in that way. Yeah. So you understand what it is in that way, is you're trying to know how it goes in that way, and you're thinking, alright, everything's going to be fine, but that's how it goes. So, we're going to clarify I'm going to clear this 9 of Wands here. Wheel of Fortune, sorry. So you're going to have good luck. Alright, what's this 9 of Wands about? The Emperor's yours, there's no nourishment. Alright, what's this 4 of Wands about? The Star of yours, there's no inspiration. Alright, what's this 9 of Swords about? The Emperor's upright, there's structure. Alright, so that's how it goes in that way. Alright, is there any more else? Yes, it is. So let me clarify. Let me clarify this Emperor's card. The Strength card reversed, so you have no bravery. The Emperor's reversed, there's no nourishment. But the Star is upright, there's inspiration, yes. So when you have no strength left, you're being unbrave, you're being scared, you don't know what to do. Because there are things they need to understand that if you wish upon something, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, you know how it goes. And you think, oh, everything's happening all at once. Yes, it is. But you understand what it is. In that way, you're trying to crave your own attention. You're trying to own beliefs. You're trying to have your own behavior. That's how it goes in that way. What's this Wheel of Fortune about? The Devil reverse, there's no obsessions. Sun card reverse, there's negativity. The Magician's are right. So you want skill, right? You want to have skill, but then you're having this way about having your own tantrum of how it goes. Your own basically how you're feeling unhappy because you're having negativity, and it's like, why are you doing it? Why? Because this is how it goes. You're trying to question your own ability from the right and wrong perspective, right? And you're trying to know what it is in that way. It's like, oh, this is going to be happening, or I know what to do, yes. But in that way, you have to understand what it is in that way, right? So you're trying to know what to do in that way. What's this Star card about? The Emperor reverse, there's no structure. Full reverse, there's no change. But the opponent, sorry, you're having good luck. Yes, you're having good luck because you know what it is, and you have to know what it is. You're trying to believe that everything's going to be fine. You're saying, alright, everything's going to be fine. Alright, I know what to do. Yes. But in that note, you have to believe what you're doing in that way and think, oh, everything's going to be fine. Alright, I'm not trying to get wanted. I'm not trying to get needed. I'm not trying to do what it is. That's how it goes. And it's like, oh, everything's going to be fine. Alright, that's how it goes in that way. What's this Emperor about? The Tower is upright. There's basically transformation. Everything's changing. Judgment's upright. You're taking action. Obviously, that is because that's how it goes in that way. And you're trying to have your own movement. You're trying to own about how everything is, and you're thinking, oh, everything's happening. Alright, I know what to do. Yes, but give it time. You know. And when you're giving it time, you know how it goes, and you have to believe that everything's gonna be fine in that way. So you have to believe in order to do that in that physical outcome. So let's see what's going on between the middle and the left, middle to the right. Magician reverse, there's no skill. Tower upright, there's transformation. Queen of Pentacles upright, there's stability. 5 of Cups reverse, there's no grief. 3 of Cups reverse, there's no celebration. Wheel of Fortune upright, you're having good luck. Yes, in that way, you're having good luck. When you're having good luck rather than having bad luck. You know, that's how it goes. And you have to believe in order to do that. You're trying to have your own ways about knowing what to do, and you think, alright, everything's going to be fine, alright? But that's how it goes. If you're having good luck, you're not trying to have bad luck. You're not trying to have negativity. You're trying to think about things to have your own motivation to understand what you're doing. You know, that's how it goes. And you're thinking, oh, this is very interesting. I know what to do. Yes. But in that way, it's like, okay, this seems to be very interesting. Alright, I know what to do. Yes. But you have to believe that. You're trying to, you know, admit what you're doing in that way. And you have to understand that in the way how it goes. What's between the middle and the right side? A1 side, there's speed. 3 bonds here, there's no communication. Here from reverse, there's no guidance. 4 1 side, there's celebration. Yes. So when you have no communication whatsoever, you want to celebrate. Celebrate about what? You know? But the way how this is, you have to know what it takes in that way. It's like, okay, this seems to be happening, or I know what to do. Alright, this is how it goes. Yes. So this is how it is. So let me clarify this 3 wands here that is reversed. I'm going to clarify it. So let's see. 5 swords, alright, there's conflict. Yes. 7 cups here, there's no delusion. 10 cups here, there's no support. 8 of Cups here, there's no satisfaction. And the Empress is upright, there's nourishment. Yeah, because you're being nourished. Because you know how it goes. When you have conflict, you're not going to get what you want. But, you know, you're trying to figure out that this seems to be happening all at once. and you have to stand that in that way. What's the middle of this situation? The Three of Pentacles are there's excitement. Yes, it is. So you have to understand the way how this is. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You know how it goes in that way because you have to stand about how everything is in that way because everything has to be all good and all grounded to understand how it goes in that way. So, before I let you go, try to pay attention about this whole entire reading, even if it's going to be fitting you, even if you know about your own both and the way how this is, and you have to understand about how it goes in that way because you have to stand that, right? That's how it goes. So before I let you go, try to pay attention about this whole entire scenario, even if you like it or not, even if you're trying to know what it is, you're not trying to play games, you're not trying to do what it is, but the way of this is you're trying to have your own, how it is in that way, and you have to acknowledge that. That's the way it's going to be. And you have to do what you're told to do. You have to be responsible. So the way how this is, you have to understand what it takes, you have to know what it is, you're trying to read between the lines, etc., etc., So the way of this is the way it seems to be in that way, and that's how it goes. So I hope you all like this all signs video. Please give a like, please give a comment if you want. But the way this is the way it seems to be. So I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please leave a comment if you want, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all. Thank you. Bye for now. Really thanks, and bye.